Now this kind of love will it make me wonder. This kind of love, now this kind of love will last forever. I love you, nada, nada. This kind of love, oh, na serious love, oh, one, two, three. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Dorathy, a YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. If this is your first time here, you're super welcome. I'm glad you could join today. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I got mad love for you guys, okay? So before I go down to the business of this video, because I'm sure from the title you already know what this video is gonna be all about. So I'll be telling you how I got booed up and how I make my husband. That's what this video is gonna be all about. But before before I get down into the business of this video, ensure that you don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you're new here. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this story time, which I'll soon be saying, and ensure that you also hit on the notification bell so you don't miss out. Yeah, so you don't miss out on any of my videos. All right, so I'll jump right into the video. Welcome back. So this gist is a very interesting gist, and for some weird reasons I'm just smiling. Yeah, so this is like, let's just say 3.5 years down the marriage line, and this story time is going to be about how I met my husband. So for all of you that have been itching to know how it went down and everything, this story time is for you. So let me just start with we actually met in the University of Ibadan. So if you're not in Nigeria, University of Ibadan is the first university in Nigeria. So we both attended the same university, and for some weird reasons I just used to say I'm not going to date UI boys. UI is like acronym for University of Ibadan. I can't date a UI boy. They're so babish, they're so this, they're so that. Like, I'm still not interested in dating any UI boy. This was my lyrics until somebody came and changed that notion. So I'll go back to the very beginning. So the very beginning is I was in 200 level here, or the 200 level, and there was, in my department I studied French. So in European language studies department, we always have a day set aside for we call it French day. So there's a day for the German students and there's a day for the Russian students. So on this particular French day, is our tradition that after the whole program is done in the morning, at night there's always going to be a night party. Yup. So I mean, yeah, gay. I'm just like, I'm a very, very like triangular kind of student. My class, my hostel, and the church. I wasn't into all this extracurricular stuff, so I'm like, okay, this the night party or soiree that they said we should come for, should I go, should I not go? I was still contemplating whether or not to go. Although I said, I beg, well, let me even go, let me even see what they are doing here. So I didn't even want to go. Imagine I did not go. So that's how I eventually, like, okay, let me just go. So I just did one very mild makeup, and I wore one gown like that. Although my husband said that gown was very fine, but to me, I didn't think there was anything special about the gown. So it was, I think, around 6:30. So I had to go to a friend's room, which was very close to my department. So because my hostel was very far from my department, so I went to her place, stayed with her, did the change over there, and we went for this party. Yup. So let's fast forward to when the party started. The party was just there. You know, it wasn't what I expected. And this particular day, it was at the soiree, soiree is dance party. So at the soiree, I just noticed this guy that was all kitted up. I'm like, who is this one? In my mind, I was like, who is this dude? Like, really? Because my department, I forgot to mention, in my department, we are so small, as there were not many in my department. In my set, I think we were not even up to 30. So you can imagine, like, everybody knows everybody. Even the 100, the 200, 300, 400 level students, we all knew each other. It was such a small department. So I'm like, who is this dude? Why is this one cracking up? in my mind, like, where is this one wearing suit? And he wasn't even wearing suit. I think he was wearing a waistcoat. It was just looking too prim and proper for the event. I'm like, what's wrong with this one? So that was the first time I just got a quick glance at him, but I didn't take anything to it. So I had fun that night. There was party, there was drink, and there were lots of food, French cuisines that we tried out, and it was really nice because that was like the first time I had a taste of French cuisines. So that was kind of memorable for me. And to me, I just felt like, who is this guy that is for me, prim and proper and all that? Then there was Devil's Basket. So I think the Devil's Basket dropped on me. Devil's Basket is like when you pick a question, whatever that thing says you do, you have to do it or you pay a fine. So that day, the Devil's Basket fell into his hands, and I think it was supposed to, I think a girl was supposed to pick 4 things from his body or whatever. And of course, because it was overdressed, I think they picked belts, picked this. Isha picked a lot of things for me. That was the first time we met, but we did not meet like meet. So let me fast forward. I actually wrote these things down so that I will not miss out on any of the gist. So eventually we had a chance to meet on a particular day, and this day I happened to leave my hostel. I wanted to leave the school, and if you're a student or you're familiar with your environment, I was in Idia Hall, so I had to move from my hostel down to the school gate, which is quite a distance, so I had to pick a cab. Fortunately, as God will have it, the cab I picked happened to be the same cab that he was in. Okay, so it was just like, come in. So I'm like, I remember the first of it. I'm like, you know, as a hard girl that I was like minding my own business and facing my own. I'm like, let me just get to gate and get down. And it was all cool and calm, like, I've seen you before, this. I'm like, yeah, the one that was cracking up. He just laughed, like, what's this guy? I'm like, yeah, you're looking too overdressed. You came for this soiree that time. So how are you doing? We just talked generally, but we talked from that point to the gate. And when we got to the gate, I was about to come down from the cab, and the next thing he said, so are you going to do the digits or the pin? In my mind, I was doing this one. Hey, I'm like, the first thing that kind of really attracted me to him was his confidence. This guy was so damn confident. Like, this is like the first time you're officially meeting me after that night, and the first thing that you're saying, like, you want to get my number, you're even asking me, like, are you going to do the number or the pin? Throw back to that year when BBM, you know, the pin time. I don't know if any of you use BBM when BBM was BBM. I mean, BB phones were raining. So are you going to do the digits or the pin? I'm like, what's doing this one? Anyway, out of curiosity, I'm like, okay, let me just not stress this dude. At least it must have taken a lot of confidence to talk to a BA like me. Like, I was damn utter than now, God safe. Oh, so I'm like, okay, let me just give you my number. That will take you from there. And that's how we started. One thing led to the other, and boom, we just started talking, and we kind of clicked from there. And the juicy part of the story is that, let me just say, years later, I got to know that his friends kind of like set him up to come and meet me. So, you know how I told you that I was a very, very serious student. Let me put it that way. I was a very serious student. So I think, yeah, there's this guy. His name is, let me just call his name Man. So Man told my husband now, which was his friend then, that, hey, there's this baby in my department. She's always forming like on her own. She's always forming hard girl. We need you as the bad guy that you will have to break her down. So in my mind, I'm like, he told me this like later, like way when we went into the relationship. I'm like, hey, so you came into the department to come and show yourself macho, and come and carry gay. But that's how fate twisted the whole thing. He was supposed to come and like, sort of, the deal was for him to come to me and like kind of break me down, break my walls, and do the bad guy stunt and go. But I came and he saw a totally different person. I remember there was a point when we became close and we were trekking. there's this very long road very close to my hostel, so they call it Tech Road. So we're trekking through that Tech Road, and it was like so I now asked him, like, what level are you? Me, I was in 200 level. Imagine, he told me he was in 100 level, and me, as a nice girl that I was like, oh, so you're 100 level? Ah, you have to be serious. So what department are you? Say pharmacy. I'm like, pharmacy? You're a pharmacy student? Ah, wow, you need to be serious. Like, and there was this course that people used to feel very well. If you're a science student and you went to UI, they used to call it chemistry, whatever. Chem 157. Yeah, something like that. Chem 157. I'm like, you need to be very serious. People used to fail this course, so you need to sit up. You know, I was advising him. And I noticed that then he was just looking at me. He was so lost. Like, this girl is actually such a sweet girl. Like, all these people were saying about her, it's not what she is. So I didn't know that was the time, like, it started, like, developing feelings for me and all that. But me, I was just being a nice girl. I'm like, oh, just be a good student. I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll show you around if you need. Not even knowing that this guy was already, like, I think then it was in 400 level, because pharmacy school is like 5 years. So I think it was either in 300 level or 400 level as at that time. So that's how we got talking. And when we were going, I just started hearing Mr. Macho, I'm like, you cannot be all this, you cannot be Mr. Macho if you are 100 level student, and then you just want Mr. Pharmacy of Nigeria as at then. Because it was actively into modeling, and he wanted Mr. Pharmacy of Nigeria as at the time I met him. But what attracted me most to him was that he was very confident, he had one, and he was really, really humble, because irrespective of what he was then in school and how popular he was really, really a sweetheart. So that's how I met him, and the relationship grew and grew and grew. I remember one point where there was this heavy downpour in Ibadan that year. It was bad. That particular day, I went to the departmental library to read, and this rain started, and I got stuck. As in, it rained like non-stop. It was like heavy downpour. Most of the cabs in the school stopped working that day. So I had the choice either to trek from my departmental library to the hostel, which is a long distance, or just wait there till the rain stopped. Meanwhile, we're already hearing news of how Ibadan was getting flooded, people were dying. You can imagine the scare. And then, even though we didn't really have a sort of defined relationship, I just knew that, yeah, I like this guy so much, and I couldn't tell why. I think for me and my husband, or my boyfriend, yeah, my now husband, we just connected naturally. Like, there was no forming. It just flowed naturally. Like, I just fell in love with him, and I couldn't, like, really place why. We just connected, and I feel like that is one of the reasons why up to today we're still very, very close. Sometimes we still used to act like boyfriend and girlfriend. We used to forget that we are married. Is when our daughter starts crying, and I'll tell her, say, okay, babe, you know, we are somebody's daddy, we need to respect our safe, you know, that kind of a thing. So that time I had to just call him. I didn't know who to call. And prior to this time, I had a boyfriend that I broke up with, because I already knew that this thing wasn't going to lead anyway. He was traveling. I'm like, bros, we'll be good friends, but just mind your lane. So I was literally bullet, but I wasn't searching. So I just like, this guy this is my friend, because to me, I just thought, wow, this is my very good friend that I'm connecting with, but let me just watch him. I just called him, like, babe, not babe, I didn't say babe then. I'm like, hello, like, where are you? What's up? I'm stuck in the departmental library. He was like, where are you? I'm like, faculty over. He's like, okay, don't worry, I'll call a cabman to come and pick you up. You know, I already told you that day there was flood in Ibadan, so most of the cabs in school were not working. They were all trying to rush down to their homes and be with their families and be safe. So you apparently called a cabman for me, gave me the cabman's number. I don't know what happened that day to today. I still don't understand what happened. I mysteriously missed my cabman. You can imagine. One of the sweetest things that he did at that point that really got to me was he actually left his hostel, which is not very far from my hostel. You know, I told you my hostel was very far from my department. He actually left his hostel in the rain to come and meet me in my department. Like, I know this sounds like the India kind of story, but I'm like, this guy is just so nice and caring. I'm not even your girlfriend, but like, at that moment, I'm just like, oh, it's like this guy really cares about me, like, and he's really selfless, because he didn't have to do that. He really didn't have to do that. He actually left and came all the way from India to come and meet me in my department, drenched in the rain. As in, he was shaking. Me, I was already shaking where I was, and he was like, oh, I called the cab man, how did you miss him? This is that. Are you okay? Are you this? Yeah, cuddled up and everything. And you know, that day was later, as God will have it, the rain went down, and we had no choice than to just keep walking in the rain, because cabs were not working that day, and we had a very long walk and long chat. His favorite shoe, or one of his best shoe that time, got spoiled because of me. So we just grew fond of each other from there. At some point, it didn't kind of work, because it was in a, let's just say, like an entanglement. But later, it was obvious that the girl, you know, was playing games, and I'm glad he came out of it, because if he didn't come out of that entanglement, it wouldn't be with me today. So that's how our story was. So that's how I met my husband. So I don't know, hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Let me know if you'd like to know how you proposed to me, and any other thing, any other video pertaining this husband. Let me know if you guys would like a husband tag. Maybe I should bring him to the channel so he can also say his side of the story. Let me know what you would like to hear. If you would like to hear more of these husband tag stories and all that. So that is how we met. I hope you enjoyed my story time. Don't mind me with all my digressions and everything, but I hope that if you're searching for love, I hope that love finds you, and that when love finds you, you'll be open-hearted to giving it a chance. So this is where I draw the curtains on this video. Thanks for watching to the very end. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me also know down in the comment section how you met your significant other, how you met your husband if you are married, or how you met your boo, and that's one thing the person did to you that struck your heart and made you know that, yeah, this person is for real. Let me know down in the comment section. I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.